Hello and welcome to another stream of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood to complete the 15th anniversary Phase 2 music tribute playthrough. We finished the main story, doing all the content in the main game that I wanted to do for this music playthrough, and now we're going to finish the playthrough by doing the same music tribute with the Vinci Disappearance DLC as well. I don't know how long it's going to take to do this because there may be music that we have already heard that's been used in the main game story. So there might be moments where I don't need to let the music play without actually talking over it. So to compensate for this potential very short stream, what I want to do is get all the optional objectives done to a point. If it feels like it's going to be a decent enough stream without worrying about getting all of them, then I will. But if it seems like a short stream, then I'll get all the optional objectives for the DLC content done as well. But that's currently what we're up to in the playthrough. Let's jump back into it. I want to change the outfit that Ezio had. I want to change it into the Draken armor. So we'll equip that. Nah, bro. I want the apple. Well, Cesare didn't get the apple, but he did get to experience the concept of gravity, which Sir Isaac Newton discovered when an apple fell on his head. So I guess in some roundabout way, Cesare did actually get an apple. It's just that he got it metaphorically. How's things now, bro? Anemone, welcome. And thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you, I really appreciate you doing that. That's awesome. Thank you, and you'll be able to use a lot of the emotes that I have that are subscriber emotes, so thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. How's your day going today? Nah, bro, just another Tomb Raider day, my guy. Awesome. That's really good. What part of the game are you up to at the moment? Anemone, so you're welcome. Your day yesterday was literally shit. Sorry to hear about that, Anemone. Especially too when it's on a weekend. Not that a shit day on a weekday would be any less, worse or better. But that really sucks. I hope you have a better day today. Anemone, yeah, not much great, and thank you. Yeah, it can be rough too, as well, because you don't know what the day will bring, and when it brings terrible shit, it's just, yeah, you want the day to be finished, but even when the day's over, it doesn't mean that those things will go away. Yeah, so hopefully today's better for you. Here's some context for the Da Vinci Disappearance DLC. Chronologically, it actually takes place between sequence 8 and 9 of the main story. But the game doesn't allow a smooth transition from sequence 8 into the Da Vinci Disappearance. You pretty much almost have to basically let the cutscenes play that transition into sequence 9 and then exit out of sequence 9, and then there's a whole big rigmarole. So yeah, chronologically this takes place between sequence 8 and 9 of the main story, but for this playthrough I wanted to do it after finishing the main game narrative as well. Like how the music just abruptly stops there. Dun, 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 dun. Now, bro, you're just about to meet this Crimson woman on your new game plus, and then after this run, you'll do one more on the hardest difficulty. Very nice, nah, bro. That's cool. I still need to do the hardest mode on that game on Shadow of the Tomb Raider. All the best with that. I hope that the hardest mode won't be too annoying and frustrating. Hey, not Fry. How's things going? Welcome. And but good news, you learned how to change your phone's keyboard to English. Honestly, you should sleep more as it is 5:26 a.m. Oh, that's great, Anemone. It's really good when there's something that you wanted to change and you finally are able to. That's really cool. I hope that it feels good. Hope that it's going to be a good way to use and everything. But that's fair enough too, as well. Yeah, sometimes I stay up longer than I actually should, but I get stubborn. Hey Vegas, welcome on in. I'm doing well. Things are going good. Doing some DLC content. I finished off the main story. So we're doing the Disappearance of Da Vinci DLC. How's things going with you? Anemone, you're looking to the sweet music? Very nice. Yeah, the music in this game is really great. And also too, like it's a great sort of like combination of time period, like period piece sounding music mixed in with a little bit of, modern day, like sort of like techno, like not necessarily techno, but a lot of electronic music combined. Oh, nice, nah, bro. That, not Fry. That's really good. That's good that you're going well. I'm going good too. Having a good one. I'm going to be finishing this playthrough today, and then going to be starting Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Going to do a 10th anniversary playthrough for that game. How, but yeah, things are going good. And Amona does. That is good. It's really, really good that it's working well. Don't be sleep is important. That's true. It definitely can be for sure. Yeah. Yeah, like hard style. Yeah. Yeah. It's sort of got that heaviness to the music at times too. Yeah, not Fry. Hell yeah, can't wait to see Syndicate. Yeah. Yeah. I've been meaning to do a 10th anniversary playthrough for that game at this point for a while during this year, but I never really found the time. And to be honest, I was also trying to figure out a particular playthrough that I wanted to do for it as well. So there was some pieces I had to sort of like figure out. But yeah, it'll be good to do a phase one of celebrating that game's 10th anniversary. Not Fry Syndicate is low key one of your favorites. Oops, my drink fell over. Syndicate is low key one of your favorites. You know it gets a lot of hate, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's things that I like about it. There's definitely things that I think it sort of like falls short with, but overall, it is a good Assassin's Creed game. For me, it's actually Ubisoft Quebec's best game that they've done so far. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Now, bro, were you playing on hard mode? It hasn't been too bad, outside of some stupid falls, because you've been playing so much parts of the game are starting to blend together. Yeah, that'd be the difficult thing too, as well. It's like that with me with Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood. Sometimes because there's certain elements that are similar, I get mixed up with some parts. Vegas, you just finished watching Double Impact and about to watch the first Die Hard movie in honor of the holidays. Very nice. That's good. I haven't seen Double Impact for a very, very long time, but I do remember really liking it, and that's cool to watch Die Hard. Thank you, Anemone, for leaving the lurk. Thank you very much. Hey, Daniel. From someone who isn't in America to another, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Daniel. I hope your day's going well. Hey there, Neon. Are you doing AC Shadows as well? Also, hello. Hello to you as well. I hope things are going well. I'll be doing Shadows, but when it becomes available on PlayStation Plus, because I don't want to pay any money for it. I've already seen what happens in the story, and the only thing that I sort of had a problem with was how they dealt with the law of the assassins, and all that kind of stuff. So when I play it, it'll just purely be for the gameplay. So I'm going to do like a non-serious playthrough. I'm going to choose all the silliest dialogue choices. I'm going to have the characters wear the silliest looking outfits. And I might also do a stealth challenge as Noway as well. Watching Die Hard tomorrow as well. Classic. Very nice. That's such a great action movie, that one. I like too how John McClane is a character that he's not invincible. He does get hurt, and when he does get hurt, it's not just a scene or two afterwards that it affects him. As soon as he starts to get hurt, it literally affects him for the rest of the whole movie. And I really like that approach that they did. Vegas Bowler was an absolute menace and evil villain in Double Impact. He really was Vegas. It's cool that they got him back to being another Van Damme movie. Neon, did you know the villain is also Snape in Harry Potter? You kind of didn't realize at first. That's true, Neon? Yeah. Yeah. It is funny when that happens too. Alan Rickman. Because that's what I knew him from, was Die Hard. Daniel, that's what you liked about the Sisu movie. The moments between the violence is him healing himself and suffering. Oh, that's interesting, Daniel, because I've heard of that movie. But yeah, it just adds a little layer of realism that can go a long way as well. You can still have the unbelievable kind of like, scenarios that can present themselves in those movies, but it's definitely good to be able to do sort of like a little bit of realism here and there, especially if it helps make it stand out. Yeah, Neon, that was a shame when Alan Rickman passed away, because he was really good. Such a great actor. Okay, so I think that's music well and truly has looped, and I've never actually noticed that music before, so it's good to play without the sound effects and dialogue as well, because there must be something in the sound effect volume that is ambient that might be laying over the top of that music, and that music might be more in the background. So that was really cool. It's actually a pretty good piece of music. I like the loop of it too, as well. Vegas, John McClane is a serious problem for anyone because of his intelligence and ability to use his environments and things around him to outsmart his more powerful enemy. Yeah, that's the other thing too about the situation that he's in Die Hard 1 especially, is that he has to make do with what he has, and he has to try and obtain better weapons, not through just basically having it already, but to actually get it off an enemy as well, you know. And then he has to sort of like sacrifice his health to actually succeed as well in certain moments too. Daniel, and he's also in Love Actually, so two Christmas classics for Rickman. Yeah, I never actually saw that one. I'm not really into romance movies. I don't mind it when there's like movies that have it in it, but if that's the main focus, it's not really my sort of story. But Dogma is a movie that he was in too, which is actually interesting to see him in that kind of movie. He plays an angel in that one. Neon Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie though, right? You know, that whole argument about whether it is a Christmas movie or isn't a Christmas movie, the thing about it is this. Whenever I think of Christmas and I think of movies, I don't think Die Hard. When I think of Die Hard, I don't think of Christmas. So it's not for me that it's either a Christmas movie or not. It's just that I don't really think of it in those terms. It doesn't mean that it's not or that it is. It just means that for me, whether it is or not doesn't actually matter. All that matters is it's a really great fucking movie. Daniel, thank you very much for the 30 stream streak. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Neon, you're thinking about trying the Wolfenstein games on Game Pass since you had a bad experience with Assassin's Creed 2. That's a good idea, Neon, to use Game Pass for that kind of stuff too, as well. That's a shame you had a bad experience with Assassin's Creed 2, but hopefully with the Wolfenstein games you enjoy them. The only one that I've played is the old school original. And even then I never played the PC version of that. I played the Super Nintendo version one time. Daniel, Love Actually is a hot mess. You watch it every couple of Christmases. Oh, you do? I see. Yeah, that's fair enough too, as well. One of those movies, I guess, too, you can put on and just do other things. Neon, you heard Rickman is in the other Die Hards too, but doesn't make sense how he would be if the first one, at the end, he dies. The first one is only one you bothered to watch. Well, there is a flashback to him falling from the building in Die Hard 3, which is Die Hard with a Vengeance. But that's because the villain in that movie is actually his brother, played by Jeremy Irons. But yeah, I haven't seen the last Die Hard movie, which was called Old Habits Die Hard, I think. Or maybe it wasn't called that. Anyway, the last one, I don't know who the villain is in that one. I don't know if there's any flashbacks in that movie to previous things he experienced or not. But yeah, in Die Hard 3, Die Hard with a Vengeance, there's a little flashback where we see Alan Rickman's character falling. Neon, yeah, the race in AC2 is so bad, you keep jumping and it pushes you backwards. A lot of people say the movement is bad and clunky, you agree. It definitely can be, Neon. It's sort of like one of those things where, it's like with the Resident Evil games, the early ones, with the tank controls. They can be very tough to get into, especially if you didn't play them back when those controls were all that there was for that game and those games. Because when you come back to it, you sort of like fall back into the groove of it. But yeah, the movement in the early Assassin's Creed games, I'd say it's more sort of like exacting, you know. There's not really too much room for error in a lot of stuff. Neon. He looks so much more jacked in Brotherhood. Could also be the armor too, but it makes me think too about the character models, because the way that Ezio runs is the same as the way Altair ran, but it wasn't, pardon me, until Assassin's Creed 3 that they actually redid the animations for walking and also for fighting and running and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, there's definitely a bulk to Ezio's body, and his frame. Vegas, okay, Rod and chat, you're going to Lurk mode to watch John McClane deal with some bad guys. Enjoy the Die Hard experience, Vegas. Thank you for leaving the Lurk too, as well. I really hope you enjoy rewatching the movie. I like that line where he's trying to get the he's called 911, and he's like, "No fucking shit, lady. What? You think I'm ordering a pizza?" Hey there, Godfather Al. Brother Rod of the Brotherhood of Brothers. The Brother Legion. How's it going, Godfather Al? Yeah, Vegas. Such a great moment. Classic John McClane. You gotta love humor like that. Neon, you think Bruce Willis' top movies are Pulp Fiction and Die Hard for you? That's a good choice, for sure, Neon. Pulp Fiction is such a great movie too, and it's one of those movies where when you watch it for the first time, there's a lot you don't notice until you watch it 2, 3, 6, 10 times later as well. It's just one of those movies that is the gift that keeps on giving. And I think part of it too is because you start to take more notice of certain things you didn't before. Because you know how everything goes, you're not really focused anymore on how the story is being told. You start focus on the details of, oh, what's that person doing in the background? Holy shit, I didn't realize that they were actually doing that, things like that. Nah, bro, Connor's probably the most physically imposing assassin, at least in the older games. That's true, nah, bro, for sure, He's definitely a very physically formidable opponent as well. And I would dare say that he's got a lot more bulk to him than his father did. Which is why I always push back against the novel saying that Hatham let his son win. Because to me, that is just basically saying that Connor had no skill or strength of his own that he had cultivated over years as well. He's not as old as his father, obviously, but he's still put in a lot of years worth of training himself. I just don't like it when that gets done to characters, because it diminishes what they went through to achieve what they achieved. You know what I mean? And in a way, it's almost like not wanting to accept that a character like Hatham could be outskilled by someone like Connor as well. I think that's part of some people's reasoning for liking the idea that Hatham let his son kill him. But then, how much of a weak thing is it to have Hatham let his son win either? Like, he's supposed to be this really strong Templar, right? So why would he give any quarter to it, even his own son? No, bro, yeah, shortchanging a character to prop up another. Exactly. That's it. Yeah, there's this idea of retroactively as well, making changes to completely change the context of how something was achieved in a game story by a certain character, and just saying that they were either not actually the one behind the scenes controlling things, and the person who was behind the scenes set it up to make them able to win. You know, that kind of stuff is just stupid. There is an example in storytelling where I don't mind that, because it still ties to the very specifics of the thing, and that is the Death Star and the small exhaust port that is the vulnerability, right? To actually still hit that and make the Death Star blow up, it's still a massive feat for Luke to pull off. It doesn't matter that they made it, that, I can't remember the character's name, but Mads Mikkelsen, who plays the father of, I know the last name is Urso, but I can't remember his character's first name. Anyway, the fact that he put that flaw in there on purpose, I don't mind it, because it doesn't take away from Luke's ability and skill to actually make the shot. You know what I mean? So that kind of thing I don't mind, because there's a reasoning behind it that makes sense. But when you retroactively say that a character only achieved something because another character that we didn't even know about was behind the scenes doing stuff, it's a cop-out way to bring a new character into the storyline, into the timeline. There's ways to do that and still honor what's already there. Another example where it's done badly is Terminator Dark Fate. The character who is in an alternate timeline, when Sarah tells her what she went through, it's scoffed at, it's discarded, it's, oh, you know, that's not in my timeline. And it's like, that is the most arrogant and most underhanded thing for them to write a character to say to Sarah fucking Connor. You know what I mean? And also, it was such a waste. They got Linda Hamilton back. Like, she had played the role recording new dialogue for Terminator Salvation, because there's a scene where John Connor is listening to the recordings that his mother made before he was born. And the good thing about that is there can be any number of messages that she left for her son. So what we see her record in Terminator 1 is only a small portion of what she could have recorded for her son, you know, in the future. So the scene where in Terminator Salvation, the adult John Connor is listening to recordings of his mother, Linda Hamilton actually came back and did the voice work for that. So Dark Fate comes along 2 movies later, and they finally get Linda Hamilton back fully, and they do that to her character. And I know I'm not talking about John Connor getting killed. That's also a big major thing. But that's not the only slap in the face that gets given to the first 2 movies. It's also a slap in the face to the character of Sarah Connor as well. A better way to do that would be for the character from a different timeline to sympathize and empathize with Sarah and say something like, I know I'm from a different timeline, but I can't imagine going through what you've gone through and the losses that you've suffered. Like, just something like that would be simple. But no. They have to make it where the character is like, you know, well, that I'm from a different timeline, so essentially what you went through doesn't matter. Because from my perspective, my timeline is the current time, is the proper timeline, you know. Neon, what's your top 2 Terminator movies? The first 2. I can't decide though between 1 and 2 which I like the best, or which is my favorite. But they definitely are the top 2. As bad as Genesis can be, I think there was at least an attempt to do something that was echoing the, you know, the first 2 movies, or at least the second movie. Don't get me wrong, it's still not an amazing Terminator movie, but it's definitely better than Dark Fate. I would actually put Dark Fate as last. So Terminator 1 and 2 for me are tied. I don't know which one I think is better. Then it would go Terminator Salvation, then Terminator 3, then Genesis, then Dark Fate. Yeah, Neon. Yeah, 2, there's one with the cop. Yeah. Yeah, the T-1000, the victim that he comes across is a police officer, so he takes his identity. Well, at the very least, he takes his uniform. The guy looks completely different to him, of course. Not that he can't make himself look like the guy, but he doesn't choose to make himself look like the cop he kills. He just takes on the appearance with his outfit and stuff. No, bro, it's also like Palpatine coming back in the last Star Wars, where it just undermines the whole story of the OG trilogy. Exactly, nah, bro. And I'm aware of like the original extended universe where he was cloned and all that kind of stuff. That's all well and good, and that's fine. But the way that they did it in the Rise of the Skywalker was just really... It's that thing where we can't, or we are unwilling to do a different combination of things, so we'll just do something similar to what came before. We'll just change things here and there, but we'll essentially reset things back to a certain point where they're similar. You know what I mean? Like, the First Order. It's just the Empire. Like, the only difference is that it's further along in the timeline, and the Empire is disbanded. That's all. That's the only difference. You know what I mean? So I feel like there was a lack of wanting to take a risk and do something very different with the story. The ways in which they did take a risk were ways that basically were poor decisions for a creative standpoint as well. And then you have Han Solo who gets killed and there's no funeral for him? Like, seriously? Stuff like that. It's just like, what? Neon, you always forget the Motorcycle Kid is the second one because they skipped so many years and that one feels so 90s. It feels like they would have made two in the 80s first. It's actually interesting you say that, Neon, because the concept of the T-1000 being able to basically turn itself into anyone was actually something that James Cameron wanted to do with the first movie, but technology wasn't at the point where he felt he could believably do it, so he took that out of the first Terminator movie. But you're definitely right. It's definitely a 90s kind of movie. It focuses more on the action rather than the horror of the Terminator. And so that's why I find it hard to decide out of 1 and 2 which I like the best, because to me, while they're a sequel, we're definitely related, of course, they're two different approaches. The first one is really sort of like techno horror, very, very sort of like dark imagery. You've also got a lot of like, very violent scenes, a lot of, gore and all that kind of stuff. Whereas the second one, you do have some of that, but it's not as visceral, I would say, as it was in the first movie. And it's more about the action of what's going on. No, bro, yeah, it's the same with the movies where after the first 10 minutes in Force Awakens, it becomes a New Hope reskin. That's true, nah, bro. And that one, out of the ones that are actually sequels to Return of the Jedi, I feel like that was the one that still left a bit of potential for the next two to follow. So out of the three, I would say I think that one is the better one. But I think Rogue One is probably the better Star Wars movie that they ended up doing. I haven't seen the Han Solo one, so I don't know if that's any good. But the Rogue One movie I thought was really well done. And I think it was smart to go back into that earlier time period and explore some things that were very interesting, like the idea of the rebellion and how sometimes even the rebellion has to make hard decisions. It's not so easy to just be rebellious against the Empire. There's cost and sacrifice and there's loss involved from that side of things too, as well. Leon, there's a lot of Terminator games, by the way, if you checked out some of the recent ones. The one that I really want to play, Neon, is the Terminator 2D game that they were originally going to release it in October, I think. But I think they might have changed the date on it. But I definitely want to play that game for sure. The Terminator games that I played is the Terminator 2 game on... Well, I played the Terminator on NES and on Super Nintendo and the Genesis version, and I've played Terminator 2, the Super Nintendo version, as well as the Genesis version, and I played the T2 arcade game that they did. In terms of like later Terminator games, I did play Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, but I never finished that game. There was also Terminator... oh man, what the hell was it called? It was on PlayStation 2. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. But it was a Terminator game that was set before Kyle Reese goes back in time to protect Sarah. But yeah, I just can't remember the name of the game, unfortunately. And I haven't played that newer Terminator game, Resistance. Oh, I played that Terminator Salvation game as well that came out. You remember Salvation and a newer one coming out that people said was pretty good? Forgot which one though. That is annoying when that can happen, especially if you were thinking about it and then when you're about to actually talk about it, you forget. Nah, bro, you still have nightmares about the Lion King on Sega? I don't know if it's different to the Super Nintendo version, because that was the one that I played, but I remember it being really, really difficult. I don't think I ever finished it, even back in the day when it came out. I rented it one time. That piece of music, the very eerie and haunting voices that you hear, and then at the end, the really sort of like eerie whistling kind of sound. Now, bro, a few years back, your ex-wife bought the remaster on PS4. You came home from work, heard the music before you even opened the door, and had a PTSD attack. Oh no! You would have been like, what the hell? How the hell is that music playing? What the... Okay, so we've heard this music in the main game before. Now, bro, you're like, not again. Told her she couldn't play it while you were home. It's like, that's a piece of music I've not heard since... It's funny, the dialogue where the guy is stopping people from going any further, and you got one of these people in the crowd who is a shoe shiner, and then he's like, "Is the Courtesan gonna shine her own shoes then?" Just dialogue like that in these games was just so funny. Now, bro, I felt a disturbance in the force. As if millions of people who played that Lion King game suddenly cried out in horror. Hey there, Keone. Welcome on in. Doing the Da Vinci Disappearance DLC now. How's things going with you? Nah, bro, you have no idea how real that is. Yeah. If anyone's played The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, there's that part where you have to have Link sneak through the palace courtyard, through like the hedges and all that kind of stuff. This part in this DLC where there's hedges and everything and guards we have to avoid. It always makes me think of that part in that game. Feathers? How many songs, including this one, do you think are on both Brotherhood and 2? Oh, at least 20, I would say, Feathers. And then there's also music that probably isn't in the games that was done for it that potentially was still recorded. So who knows, like down the line there might even be like a releasing of tracks that are in the vaults, wherever they store them. At Ubisoft or wherever it might be, you know. But yeah, definitely a lot of different pieces of music. Then there's also variations. I feel like some of the variations, they're probably just one piece of music layered over to the top of another or interspliced between them and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, there's definitely like a lot of music in Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood combined for sure. Hey there, Bioshock Dragon. How's things? Bioshock, you're up late. Still very early here, 4:41 p.m. How's things going, Bioshock? All good. That's excellent to hear. Glad to hear that things are going well. Oh yeah, Bioshock, it's 10:41 p.m. where you live. Definitely later your time for sure. Hope you've had a good day. Shin, thank you very much for the 5-stream streak. Thank you, I really appreciate that. That's awesome. In a world full of copycats, be an original. That's a good quote. It's a good saying. Morning there, Code. How's your morning going? Code, you're doing some calcs and some oven roasted bread. Oh, that sounds delicious. Oven roasted bread. That sounds good. I could just imagine like melted butter on some oven roasted bread. Code, some garlic, onions, tomato paste, chili, mustard sauce, and bit of cheese. Nothing fancy. Oh, that's good to do. It's always good to do something that's a bit more, a bit more simplified. As long as it's still delicious. Vegas, Alan Wake. Dun 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 dun. It's not a lake, it's an ocean. Hey there, Emma Greed. How's things? For a second you thought this was Malacca time. Oh no. In Revelations though, there's a word, I think it's either Malacca or Malakia, it's actually used by the Templar captain. Then of course Odyssey later, but yeah. No. Usually I just do one playthrough a year of Odyssey. Code. Wonder what the Spanish alternative is for Malacca. That's a good question. Amagri, what does Malacca even mean? It essentially, from what I can gather, means wanker. Oh, you do? Ammo, you speak Spanish? You could try to translate? Oh, that's really cool. When did you start to learn the language? Ammo, so Wenka would be pajero in Spanish. Oh, would it? So I wonder then if you have the Spanish language selected in that game, because you can, I'm pretty sure. Wonder if that's the word that they use too, or if they actually just say the word as it is. Bootleg Space Kittens, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome to you and your raiders. Hope everyone's doing well. Just a heads up, there's nothing wrong with your audio. There's only music on purpose. I'm doing a playthrough to pay tribute to the music. So I've got the sound effects and dialogue turned off. How was GTFO? And what is that game? I've never heard of it before. Oh, nice, Emma. So you're from Honduras. Oh, cool. It's always amazing, too, to find out the different parts of the world where viewers are from. That's really cool. Indeed, Emma, yeah. Yeah, raid. Hey there, Lone. Welcome on in. How's things? Bootleg, you had to open the browser. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I'm doing well, thank you. I'm going to be finishing this playthrough today, and then I'm going to be starting a playthrough of Assassin's Creed Syndicate, doing a playthrough for its 10th anniversary. A lot of anniversaries in the series this year. It's a hardcore cooperative horror shooter, and it's hard. Oh, nice. So is it relatively new? That's excellent, Lone. I'm glad to hear that you're going good, dude. I'm doing really well. Having a good weekend. It's almost 5 PM here, so the weekend is still in effect. But it's definitely getting closer to Monday, though. But going well. For those who are new to the channel, I do streams every day, different games on different days. And the current schedule for Mondays through to Thursdays is Batman Arkham Asylum. But I'm also doing Arkham City and Arkham Knight. I don't have Arkham Origins, so that won't be included. But those games will be done Mondays through to Thursdays. Friday at the moment, I'm doing Hellblade, focusing on the story and also listening to the voices that Senua hears. And pretty much all the dialogue is possible. And then the game that will replace this for weekends will be Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Learn it came out in 2019, is that new? If we were in 2020, yes, that would be new. Bootleg 17.5 hours. Yeah, it's crazy though too as well, how many hours worth of time difference there can be between places. Oh, sorry, Bootleg, you mean that's how long you were streaming for in total? 4 hours co-op, then 12 hours solo, then another 2 co-op. Definitely a long stream time then. Overall, that's for sure. Bootleg, you can't sleep yet because you have someone coming today. You don't know how you're not sleepy or tired yet. Won't be finished till 5 p.m., but you might tell him he can leave at 4 p.m. You started at like 8 p.m. yesterday. That's understandable, Bootleg, for sure. I feel though too, depending on what you're doing, there can be a certain exhaustion, and so you might be tired related to one thing, but that doesn't mean that if you go and do something else, you'll be tired doing that. You know what I mean? Like for me, when I do a long stream, I get to the point where I know that I can't concentrate on both the game and talking, so I have to actually end the stream. But it doesn't mean that I'm tired, that I need to go to sleep. It just means that I'm exhausted from streaming, so I need to stop doing that. And then I'll just stay up for hours afterwards as well. So I wouldn't be, surprised if there's those kinds of things as well in different ways. Hey there, Stan. Can you throw him to the sea? Is that something that's possible? Oh, it is. Laugh my ass off. Now swim to Constantinople, Duccio. Yeah, I love it how you can do that, Stan. I mean, it breaks canon because he would drown being thrown into the water like that unconscious. But it's funny in Revelations because when you find him again after the cutscene where you see him, when you track him down, you can kill him, but he'll eventually respawn, so he becomes like an immortal kind of punching bag. You do the same, Bootleg? Yeah. Yeah, it's just sort of like a different sort of thing. It's like when you're eating food and you get full, but when someone's like, would you want some dessert? You're like, oh yeah. But you think it might be because you had 2 energy caffeine drinks that you drinked over the course of the stream. That would definitely help too, for sure. It'll keep you, your energy up, and um, I get the same kind of feeling when I've had like a coffee or something. If I haven't gotten any sleep and I have a coffee, you'll get that big burst, but then you'll start to flag, or lag, I should say. But then you get that second wind where you just stay awake. Bootleg, but good news at Lone and at me. He apparently sent you a message at around 1 p.m. saying he needed to pick his grandma up at the airport at 3 p.m., so he's not here today. You can go right to sleep. Oh, yeah. Well, I hope you get some good rest, Bootleg. Definitely understandable needing to go and get some sleep. Thank you once again for the raid. Really appreciate it. I hope that you get some good rest and that you can enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bootleg, no problem. You hope so too, but it's been a warm day. Might have a cold shower first. That's understandable. Yeah, it can be so annoying trying to get to sleep with the heat. It's practically summer now. There's one day left of spring, but it may as well have been summer weeks ago. Thank you very much, Bootleg. I definitely will have a good rest of the stream. Summer is earlier. That is true. Oh yeah. Not my favorite season, but can't be fast forwarded through, unfortunately. Would definitely like to recommend people check out Bootleg Space Kittens if you haven't before. They were playing the game GTFO, a horror cooperative shooter game. So if you're a fan of those kinds of games and horror as well, then definitely recommend checking out Bootleg's channel. I seem to be progressing pretty well through this DLC. So what I might actually do is go back into one of the memories we've already done and just do 100%. Not that this whole playthrough I need to do 100%, but I'll go back into that memory that we just did. Is it additional memories? No, it'd be restored memory. There we go, restored sequence. Alright, so we've got this one. Infiltrate Belriguardo Palazzo to find Lucrezia Borgia. So full synchronization failed. Do not kill anyone. So what I'll do is I'll go back and replay that memory, because I don't want this stream to be like 2 hours and a half. If I can make the stream at least 3 hours, then that will be good. So we'll redo this one here. Hey, Dr. Darling, welcome on in. You missed the replay mission with Arnie Impression Redemption. That will actually make a return, Dr. Darling, for the Assassin's Creed Syndicate playthrough I'm doing, because I will be doing a music focus for that game, but it won't be the first phase of its 10th anniversary. So I'll bring it back for that, and then when I do my other phase of this, it'll be one that I can have that active again for. So replayed that memory to get the optional objective. Also to make this stream a little bit longer, because it felt like I was getting through very, very quickly. I swear, I'm in Nan's grave.
Fair Lucrezia could not sate her appetite for lovers, but I suspect she would be fine with 2 or 3 more brothers.
Thank you for redeeming those, Dr. Darling. Nice. What's that from, that Arnie impression that I did? What's that quote from? Is that from one of those, what are they called? Crooked played the games that, I can't remember what they're called though, but they're set in like the First Crusade or something. But that's funny, that Bane impression from Assassin's Creed Revelations when he's singing as the bard. Dr. Darling, A Memory with Alexander Graham Bell as Arnie. Oh yeah, that'd be so funny to just have that kind of voice coming out of his mouth. That's true, Dr. Darling, yeah. Yeah, I started when it was 3, not exactly on 3 p.m. my time, but a bit after. You're trying to find a classic British phrase to make Arnie say it. Oh, I got you now. Yeah. Yeah, that can be interesting too, as well. Especially using ways to pronounce things that generally Arnie wouldn't pronounce them in that way, you know? Look here, governor. You know, like things like that. Which would be ridiculous, but... Would you like a spot of tea, governor? You know, things like that. That look on his face. The Ezio Auditore Affair. There's a movie called The Thomas Crown Affair. There was an original with Steve McQueen in it, and then there was a remake with Pierce Brosnan in it, and then they did a sequel to that movie. But basically, it's about this thief who is wanting to steal a painting, and so that's what this title is referencing. Hey Rosie, do lady friends run if you kill a guard, or are they down with the assassination thing? That's actually a good question. Mechanically, game-wise, I don't know if they actually do, But story-wise, they actually know the assassins. Claudia is actually the madam of the brothel where the courtesans in Rome are, and she becomes an assassin. So they're well aware of the assassins and what they do. That Bob is great. It really is. I love doing it. Sometimes when you have Ezio and you try to do it, it doesn't work straight away, so you have to move him a little bit for it to change something in the animation to then allow it. Dr. Darling, you're trying to make a certain 23-year-old game work with controller on PC. You know which one you mean. Yes, Splinter Cell. Man, when I was trying to get that first Splinter Cell game to work with a controller, I just gave up in the end. I was just like, no. So best of luck, Dr. Darling, with that. Hey Afro, how's things? Dr. Lang, that assassination was so silent. It really, really was. I can't believe that there was no sound effects or any grunts or anything from the enemy that was killed. I wonder why. given that the stream is almost at the 3 hour mark, I'm going to stop worrying about getting optional objectives done, because the only reason I did that other mission earlier was because I thought maybe I would need to do something to make the stream a little bit longer than just 2 hours or 2 hours and a half. But with this memory and then the next one, it'll definitely be around the 3 hour mark or a little bit over as well, which for me is a decent enough stream for this content, especially the DLC. It's pretty short overall anyway, but there has been some moments where there's been some different music as well, where I've listened to it without talking over the top of it. Then there's also been some music I've just listened to because it was cool, even though I'd already actually covered it and hadn't talked over it before, but wanted to listen to it again. Okay, so that music, when we were putting that puzzle together, was different. So I wanted to wait until it either looped or stopped before putting that final piece on. And now for the final memory of the DLC, and the final memory I'll be doing for the playthrough. Because I've already done the main game content I want to actually do. Which means the main story is all finished. All I had left was the DLC. And then when the stream is over, I'll take a short break and then come back with Assassin's Creed Syndicate. That is true, Dr. Darling, yes. What I'm actually doing for Phase 1, I'll reveal that when we get this content done, before I end the stream. Dr. Darling, bene. Now I have a way down in case I fall up. Hey, Shaky, it must have been the wind, but the wind is no more. Requiescat in pace, wind. Welcome, Shaky. How's things? And here ends the Phase 2 Music Tribute playthrough to celebrate the game's 15th anniversary. There will be more phases in the future, but the next anniversary playthrough of an Assassin's Creed game I'm going to be doing that will replace this one on the weekends is Assassin's Creed Syndicate for its 10th anniversary, and I'm doing what I've called a Twin Perspectives playthrough for that. Such a great piece of music, Afro. I thought I would end there on something that was very, very atmospheric, but also very sort of like, beautiful. Such a great piece of music, Adamone. Lizzie, Ezio, why are you dancing funny? That's what he just does. He's secretly also a part of a group that follows the Dancers Creed as well. Thank you everyone for watching the stream. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to take an hour break before coming back with Assassin's Creed Syndicate. If you see me streaming that, then you know it's still Sunday here. But if you see me streaming Batman Arkham Asylum, then that's my Monday game. I hope that everyone has a good one. For those who can't make it to the next stream in an hour's time, that's completely fine. Thank you so much for watching this one. I appreciate it. Thank you, Not For I definitely will enjoy the break for sure. Before I end though, I'd like to give some shout outs to some streamers I'd like to recommend. Would definitely like to recommend people check out the following streamers: Bootleg Space Kittens, who's been doing a game called GTFO, Daniel, who's been doing Salt and Sanctuary, Lone Star, who's been doing some Minecraft, Shaky, who's been doing Blades of Fire, Shin the Ninja Penguin, who's been doing Assassin's Creed Shadows, and Vegas Glaive, who's doing Dead by Daylight. Definitely recommend checking out those streamers if you haven't before. I'll be back in 1 hour with Assassin's Creed Syndicate to begin Phase 1 of celebrating that game's 10th anniversary with a Twin Perspectives playthrough. When I get to that stream, I'll definitely go into detail about what that actually involves. For those who can't make it to the next stream in an hour's time, that's no worries at all. Thank you for watching this one, and I'll be back in 1 hour.